Hello and welcome to the Queen Bee podcast by Queen Bee Rising. I am the host, Tanya Rutherford. Now, I'd love to invite you to enjoy all of our episodes. We're currently in season 3 and it's been an amazing journey. Each fortnight, I interview an amazing woman and we talk about menopause, we talk about midlife, and we also talk about personal transformations. Along the way, we explore some of the things that are holding us back, and there's always something uplifting, inspiring, and often a wow, I had no idea moment mixed in with all that as well. Stay tuned and enjoy. Hello and welcome to the Queen Bee Rising podcast. I'm your host, Tanya Rutherford. I just wanted to share with you a bit today about what I've been noticing lately, and perhaps you've kind of had a sense of this as well. And that is kind of like this old energy that's sort of starting to drop away through the closing of the year of the snake. We're shedding the skin, hopefully getting rid of all our old beliefs, the stories, the roles, the expectations, all those things that we've been carrying with us that no longer serve us. And maybe they never did, but they definitely are not going to serve us going forward. And I think it's really good just to frame that as this is a perfect time to be letting that go. We don't want to bring that into the new lunar year, which is the year of the fire horse. It happens about every 60 years, and it is a really transformative stage. And I get a real sense that there is a shift in energy. And at the same time, for some of us, that can be a little bit daunting, and maybe we're feeling a little bit nervous or unsettled about what's to come. Now, if that's for you, I want you to know straight away that there's nothing wrong with where you're at right now, and you are not alone. We've been going through the last few years at least of uncertainty. There's been that sort of sense of emotional heaviness and of course constant adjustment, not just on an energetic global level, but also on a personal level as our bodies are starting to shift and change as well. So it's not surprising if your system is feeling a bit cautious. It's not like it's been a clean break into a shiny new chapter. It's more like it's been a bit of a slow thaw after a very hard, long winter. And energetically, this coming year is going to really carry a different quality. It's almost like it's a year that's going to invite us to come out of our survival mode, which many of us have been stuck in for a long time, and into something a lot more intentional. It's going to be a year that's less about pushing for change and more about consciously creating from the inside out. Now, the important thing about conscious creation, which I've learnt the hard way, is that it doesn't start with vision boards or big decisions. At this point, it is starting with knowing that we are enough. So enoughness. And that conscious creation grows through faith. It's not necessarily that sense of enoughness is about, I don't need to be anywhere or be doing anything to prove that I'm ready for this next step. When it comes to faith, it's about trusting that we can take the next small step without needing to see the full picture. And in that, this year is going to be responding to all of that energy. It's also going to have a way of amplifying whatever we are carrying forward with us. Now, for some of us, where we might still be carrying a lot of our old stories, our old patterning, it's going to get harder. And that doesn't mean that we just give up, although we might feel like crawling in a hole and giving up. It just means that we need to be aware of that. On the other hand, if we've let that go, or particularly in the first part of the year, if we're letting it go, then what we start amplifying is that forward path. It's that growing faith in ourselves, in what's to come. We have that opportunity to really to expand and to transform even the smallest of gifts into something really great. So, in a lead up to that, what I'd like to suggest is considering, what am I ready to let stay in the past so that it doesn't shape or impact what I want to be building right now? Now, for most of us, that's not actually going to be very dramatic. It's more subtle change. It's the small things. It could be that habit of over functioning, of wearing all our roles and responsibilities and expectations as a badge. I've been guilty of that before. It might be letting go of the belief that rest has to be earned, that we can't just stop. Or perhaps it's like, the small wins aren't worth celebrating. They are. We need to get better at letting that limitation go. It might be the fear that it's too late. It's not. To be honest, the only time it's too late is when we're gone. There is always time. It might be harder because we leave it longer, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible or not worth trying. And the other thing that sometimes we need to let go is that quiet self-doubt of, I've tried it before and it didn't work. Yep, maybe we did, but things are different. Things are always different. And then, of course, we're living in a world that feels really intense right now. All the political power struggles, our cost of living pressures, all the constant information and noise. And even if you're managing well, your nervous system is still absorbing all of it. So if you're feeling a bit more on edge than usual, flatter than expected, or, unsure of where to place your energy, it's okay. You're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. Your system is just responding to a hell of a lot now. And I know for me, it was like I couldn't understand why I felt so flat and so frazzled, actually, if I'm really honest. When January came, it was like, why aren't I feeling kind of ready for the new year? I felt wiped out. And that's not an uncommon thing. Like, I'm hearing it from so many people. So this year isn't about asking you to overhaul your life or throw everything out. It's just suggesting or asking, I like suggesting, that you build steadiness first. And why that's key is that when we regulate our nervous system, we start to choose what's coming into our receptive field more carefully. And we then move slowly enough that our body can trust the process. We build that strength. And we then have faith that something can be amazing for us. Now, this week's blog is called The Courage to Begin Again. And it is all about why every new beginning, no matter how small, is actually really important. And I just wanted to frame that because I think sometimes we think about courage or we think about change as it's a big leap, it's a bold move, it's a decisive break. But more often than not, it's the small shifts that make the difference. Real courage is quiet. It's about getting up again when you've been knocked down. It's about trying again when you've been disappointed. It's beginning from where you are and not from where you think you should be because you think everyone else is there. It's taking one small step at a time that just reminds ourselves that, we are still here. So if you are starting this year slower, that's not a failure. That's actually the wisdom from your body. And I just want to leave you today with a few reflections that you might like to carry into the coming weeks. Now, obviously, these are totally optional, but it's a great opportunity just to connect in and see how your body responds to different things and what comes up for you. Okay, so the first one is, what am I ready to release so that it doesn't get a vote in my future? The second one is, where might I be asking myself to prove readiness instead of just allowing it to grow organically, naturally, in its own time? And thirdly, what would feel like one strengthening step this week? Not a push, but something that's just going to help us feel supported, but like we're still moving forward. So for this year, we don't need to do everything different. We just need to stay present, regulated, and willing to begin again if that's where we're at. It can happen gently, and that's, I'm sure, more than enough for most of us. Before we close out, I did just want to share something simple that I'm offering in case it feels supportive. From next Monday, I will be starting a 15-minute Monday reset. It's just a short nervous system check-in to help you arrive into the week feeling a little bit more settled. We'll ground gently, notice how your system is actually feeling, and then we will be leaving with one small strengthening step to support you through the week ahead. It's something that I kind of felt would be really supportive as we start coming into this new lunar year. In case there's anything that's kind of feeling a bit rocky, it will be free for the first few weeks. I want it to be nourishing, not effortful. You don't need to prepare anything, share, or fix anything. It's all about just showing up as you are and just being open to what your body is needing. You're so welcome to join us. I will share the details in the show notes. Just remember to take care of yourself this week. And remember that small beginnings still count. Thank you for joining us for the Queen Bee podcast. Now, if you're keen to have more, and why wouldn't you be, definitely check out all our other episodes. I think there's a real win in every single one of them. Now, if you would like some more support, then we have that as well. In our Queen Bee Rising library, we have a lot of resources designed to inform and support you in your peri and menopause journey. We also have some amazing programs that are all about helping you to shift from blah to woo-hoo, or something along that spectrum. Check out the website, and if you've got any questions, then definitely shoot me an email at connect@queenbeerising.com.au, and I look forward to hearing from you.